kids. I mean,
That would be more than sufficient, I would believe.
it just sounds to me from talking to her that there was gonna be a lot more than that.
Well, what about like having flaggers, north of the containers?
When they stand at the end of it, tell them where to go through the cemetery, they
You can
can.
do that, I mean, I don't have a problem with any of that, I just don't want them in the back trying to grab tires out of trucks and stuff like that, get caught or something bad happening, and we got a problem. Somebody get run over by the loader, or, yeah. I
She
don't-
said if their parents needed to come and supervise them, or she needed to come, I mean, there's all kind of options that she said that they're,
I would be
is
much
there
more
if you need it.
comfortable if the parents were there doing the supervising of their child, but,
Well, I think that we welcome with open arms, but we just have to make sure that they're
We do, but I don't-
properly,
I'm gonna be going to a funeral.
properly supervised on what they do. Well, that's great.
Talk to them, Sean, and see what we can do,
You know,
what we can stipulate.
And then another announcement that's very important that's being asked about, and they hear it and then they forget and they ask again, is Champion Community Garage Sale dates are set May 17th to the 21st. We will ask Champion Community Calendar to coordinate this as they did in the past.
They did,
have
but,
it.
yeah, wrong,
It's been
grabbed it
what,
from the wrong
7
agenda.
times? Is that
So,
what you're saying?
no, I copied it from the wrong,
No, that they had it on 7 times or something, they were saying.
oh, Chat Like a Champion, people have been asking a lot about the community cleanup, I've seen it like 7
I've
times.
got a lot of
So,
calls.
yeah.
Then I made a major error here when we were setting the schedule for our trustees meeting, and we're gonna change that. Excuse me. It was the amendment G 2023-1. We're going to change the meeting date from July 3rd, which is too close to July 4th, my fault, to July 10th, if that's all right with everybody, for the regular meeting date. It's not as much as availability of school, it's just a lack of my ability to see that the 3rd was too close to the 4th. We're all in agreement. I think we probably should have a motion on setting that meeting.
Right. Well, I don't think we need a motion, we just need to advertise it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, to amend,
Okay, if you feel more comfortable with that, that's fine.
It don't matter, if you want a motion, we'll do a motion, but I don't think, I don't know if we need it. Do you think?
But the 3rd is too close, and I'll take
Yeah, I think
full
we should have a motion,
responsibility
since
for that.
Throw a motion.
it's a change from what we initially.
Okay. So you wanna do a motion, Rex?
Sure.
Do I hear a motion to change G 2023-1, Township meeting July 3rd to July 10th at 6:30 at right here at the school.
So move,
Second,
No discussion, roll call.
yes.
yes.
Yes, thank you. Sorry about that. Approve the purchase of additional storage from Carbonite for $2.99 for 15 months. This is kind of new to me. I talked to Courtney this afternoon. I'm assuming this is, from the brief conversation that we had, is our cloud program that we, backup system.
mhm.
And the question that I guess I didn't ask was what happens after 15 months? Is this a rollover?
It renews every 3 years.
Renews every 3 years? And that price isn't locked in, it's just whatever it'll be after 15 months?
Yeah, they'll give us a new quote at the end of the,
Do you know how many megabytes or trigabytes that we've got in
Trigabyte,
the
that's
cloud?
a new one.
at the moment I don't. I apologize.
How much storage do we get in a trigabyte?
A lot.
More than anyone ever did.
A trick, what's the heck?
A whole trig.
Don't you know a trick?
Jeez, what's wrong with me?
Haven't you seen the red sitting over there?
Discussed trigabytes.
And one of the things is that's one of the reasons that I think we didn't go with the body cams because of the immense amount of storage.
They need like 6 trigabytes for that.
What's a trigabyte? 6? So, I guess we'll need a motion to, get these extra trigger bites here. So we'd like to have a motion to approve the purchase of additional storage for carbonite for $299 for 15 months, and that'll be a 3-year, $299.
It'll finish up in, May 31st of 2024, we'll have to renew.
Okay, and that will be, the motion.
May 21st, 2024?
31st, yes, sir.
31st.
So moved.
Second?
No discussion, we already had it. Roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And then, personnel policies, have the employees turn in a signed sheet for the personnel policies no later than, guys, we need to set a date on this, because, the department heads are supposed to give this to the employees, they were supposed to sign off. I've talked to Courtney, we have nothing in writing back from the department heads that we can approve or even discuss as far as what, if they have any objections, looking at their contract and looking at the, policies that are written. That would probably be the best way. They know their contracts probably better than anybody.
I would, I would prefer to have a discussion about this in executive session.
Okay.
We can come back to it after an executive, but I have some pretty big concerns with this.
All right. Okay, then that takes us to the next item, which is JED LLC renewable contract. Courtney, what is the amount on that? It's not listed on the agenda here. Do you
It's
know?
$60 per hour, $90 for weekend and overtime, and most of the time, if he needs to come on overtime, it's more his thing. Like, his schedule didn't permit, and he doesn't charge us for, so it's,
Didn't we
same
do
as
this?
we've been paying, we just renew it every year.
Didn't we already do this at the beginning of the year?
No, it was tabled, I just handed you the contracts, it wasn't, that was the first you'd seen them.
There's no, minimum in that contract?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you want to, table this, or do you want to go ahead and duplicate this? It would be the same thing. We might as well duplicate it just in case we're not thinking straight right now.
Correct.
So, need a motion to, renew our contract with JED LLC Renewable at $60 an hour, during the weekdays, $90 an hour for the weekend. That would be till the end of the year,
Yes, sir.
12/31 of 2023.
So moved.
Second?
Already discussed it. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Courtney, did I miss something in here, like 66,000? Oh. You wanna do that first? The supplemental thing, get this straightened out before we approve the,
Yeah, since you said they were related, I put them together, side
yeah,
by
but you
side.
wanna do this one first, this error has to be corrected.
Okay,
This was an error, once you correct the error, then this will be the official estimated resources.
okay,
Correct, right?
yeah,
Okay. So we're gonna jump ahead a little bit here. There was a clerical error that, we had $66,000 that, turned into a minus twice. And now it's been corrected, so we have to correct the supplemental appropriation in the general fund in the amount of $66,000. This was originally included in the line item detail provided, but the formula had a negative sign rather than an additional sign, a positive sign, correct?
yeah,
So we need to, correct this, Courtney's gotta correct it in the books.
Okay. So moved.
Second?
Roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
thank you, gentlemen, I apologize.
And, now we'll move on, excuse me, to the, accepting the official, amended official certificate of estimated resources dated March 9, 2023, in the amount of $86,764.73. Accepting appropriations changed at the March 6th meeting. So we need a motion for that, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Well, we got one last thing here, ARP funding from the county discussion. We just got that packet here not too long ago from them with a request.
Yeah,
Thoughts, Joe?
I spoke with Commissioner Levoy maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago and asked her about this, and they say they still are accepting applications for consideration, and there are townships that have had their applications in since, I don't know, August of last year. You know, my thoughts are, it would probably be good to submit a couple of 3 wishes.
3 projects, right?
Yeah, in hopes that they look at one and give us something. I know I talked to Tom Dempsey today, just threw it at him what he thought. Of course, he threw out an ambulance.
That, I don't think that's a horrible idea.
Well, no, but, you know, I don't know what other townships are requesting.
Well,
You know,
here's
as
my
far as
thought,
monetarily, and,
with the amount of mutual aid that we run to our neighboring townships, I think that asking the county for art money to replace one of our squads is in line. It would, represent Champion, Southington, Warren Township, Bristolville, Bezetta. So, I think that, just.
Didn't Tom submit a grant? Didn't Tom submit a AFG grant for an ambulance? Chief Dempsey? Could've sworn he did a couple months ago. That annual,
Working on it, yes. I don't know if, I never heard whether that got.
he said he did, he told me personally, he submitted for
No, he was
that.
working on it, I don't know for sure if it got submitted or not. It did?
Well, I know.
Do you know, Courtney?
Yeah, it did. The announcements for who gets it and who doesn't, not until October, I believe. So it'll be a while before we hear anything.
The other thing I think we could do is, request art money to run a water line to the township building from our property on Mahoney Avenue, and let that water line benefit the
Can do that,
residents
can
in the township. What?
Can't do that, can they?
Why?
Because it's going from one property to another.
I think we're allowed to do it.
just for the benefit of this, our administration building, that's a service.
Benefit of the administration building and the residents who do not have city water, leaving outside town.
Well, so
Our
you want
township does.
to bring it
allow
through where he
residents
tore that
to
house down,
build
all the way,
houses.
can you do that?
What's that?
I think you can go from one property to another.
They already approved it
Really?
years ago. It was approved years ago, but, there was no funding available to get it done.
One of the things that,
Am I correct about that, am I not? It was sent to bid and everything, and that's what stopped it, was the bid.
One thing that was always attached to those agreements, if they did permit it, was, you would have to agree to disconnect and absorb the assessment on the frontage that you actually,
That's
in
correct.
this case, 305, which is a
Okay.
pretty big
Substantial.
amount of
Sizable,
frontage,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, for the township to absorb, depending on what kind of funding, I mean, well, if the entire project is done in art money, there wouldn't be an assessment.
Correct.
From 305, but,
Then I believe we could put an outside tap to allow the residents to fill the water, something like what Warren Township does.
you gotta charge it, right?
Huh?
You expensive.
Well, you would know.
I don't think you want people coming and
We
taking
would
the
have to
water. no.
look at that and see what kind of usage it would have. Then the other thing I think we should request is money to have a generator put in the police station. The loss of power, police department's out of business.
Well, I think what we need to do is, from between now and next meeting at the latest, is jot down some projects and discuss it next meeting and pick 2 or 3 and move forward and fill out the application and get them down there.
I don't know if the county would be interested in giving us any money towards our
Trouble
storage
is,
facility.
some of those, like the water line, you have to get engineering done.
Engineers,
have to have
you know how those engineers are.
Yeah.
Do you know any?
No. I don't have any background in that at all.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't hear what project you were,
He's worried about where he's gonna get his engineering degree.
I meant prior to that, what did he need his engineering degree for?
Water lines or any projects, some of those along those lines.
My thoughts are, something I'd like to throw on the table is try to get water and sewer for development. We've got, like Rex, as far as looping this water for the tower, to where we can get a contractor to come in there and build more homes. Talking with the chief, excuse me, in Cortland, they've got 12 full-time officers. Very, very little business up there. Their tax base is from their residents. They've got so many homes up there. If we can extend the water and sewer lines and make it attractive, like, let's say Wayne Home, and that's a bad word right now, is Wayne Home because of, we'll call, that's who's building the house. But to generate income like that, to entice people to come into the community and build. We've got the school, we've got everything that people want here, and we're making progress for building. I know that's a major thing. It may not happen, but you're not gonna get this started if you don't shoot for them. Just one of the items that we
We've
should
had
be considering.
requests from several areas of the township for water line extensions, some North Park, Cleveland Street, east. There's some homes up there that don't have water, are requesting line extensions. I don't think that's a bad idea.
Just to generate money, Doug, with
We would
the
try
homes.
to run them for future development. You're talking, what, Prentice Road, Mahoney Avenue North,
Mhm.
Town line. As much as I agree, and I'd like to see it done, there was so little interest in that at those meetings that we had. I don't know that the public wants that,
But they did have a big project when we met at Seminaros. They did have that big project already planned out for us, Rex. I don't know if you were part of that. And that was just finally got put together, was down State Road, the water and sewer going down there. So, I mean, there's an area for development. I mean, it's kind of low in some of them areas there.
Sewer's run down just short of Oak Hill Drive now.
Yes.
the sewer is, not water.
And that was prepared for us, Doug, when we went to the meeting, although we were left out of everything else. I mean, we didn't have nothing prepared for them.
Shh.
But they had,
Don't fight.
that's all right, you'll buy tickets.
That is what it's all about.
But to generate income, I mean, it's a big.
Oh, killing them
It's a
tonight.
big thing, Rex, because you know that the
Yeah,
cost of it's gonna be
and
a mess.
unfortunate, I agree with everything you say, but, sanitary sewer especially, it is a very expensive utility because of the depths you have to run it. Certain contractors, can do it, I mean, they have to have machines to get to the depths they need. It's expensive as far as design, water, not so much. But, if you run at the distance, it can be very costly also. And, like Doug says, you You know,
Well, it's
when you have a
definitely-
contractor, when you have somebody interested in development in platted areas for lot sales, for homes, you know, it's essentially up to them to run mainline sewer from the road down into the platted area. And that cost is recovered through the sale of lots. It
But they
isn't,
don't-
it isn't the township's responsibility to run it into vacant land in hopes that, you know, we get a benefit, but.
So,
You know, I don't think it's like it was 25 years ago to where when they put in Sabrina and different things where the contractor themselves put the roads in, had the county approve them, put the water, the sewer, and absorbed all the costs to do that. And the cost of the septic tank now is kind of prohibitive as far as people looking to build. So you really wanna mess with a septic tank? Because if you do eventually run water or sewer, they make you crush that. The same thing with waterworks. I think if you have a water line run in front of your house, do you have to cap your, I think you do, in
If
that
you
last
choose-
meeting, you have to cap that.
sewer you do.
Well,
The
you have
water
to cap the
too.
well too. And
If
you
you
have-
take water, you gotta cap the well, but they can't force you to take the water.
Yeah,
If they put sewers in, though, I think you are mandated to tie
Yeah.
into the sewer,
yeah, and you
but
have
not
to,
water.
you have to crack, pump, crack, and fill your septic tank with an inert material.
Right.
I know it's
So
a
like-
big project and a lot of money and a quick report on going down to the Trumbull County Board of Health. Mr. Malloy was down there and he was, advocating for them to get a new building, cause it is, nasty to walk down them steps to go down there to go into a meeting place. I mean, if somebody getting hurt, they got only like 15 million left out of the 33 million that you got.
Denny seemed to think that there was gonna be around 7 million in projects divided up to the townships, that number you're hearing?
I might go down there tomorrow.
You're gonna get
Yeah,
out of the
I'll
meeting?
see ya.
Put your helmet
I'll
on.
see ya. Yeah, because, you'll get asked them pretty glasses or you get
Put
But
the
just a
helmet
thought,
stuff
John.
on and sit in the back and stay low.
Just a thought to try to generate, revenue here, to spread the money coming into the coffers, because Courtney brought up something as far as with the school and something in the House bill that's not even on the floor yet or being talked about that could, diminish our income, correct?
Yeah,
But we'll
actually
get in.
trustee Fee brought it up to me, so
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm a little
Yeah,
behind in
it's,
reading the
it's
legislative
what's,
alerts.
it's what's known as House Bill 1. And, they're essentially, you know, when they, taxable value of the home is presently 35% of the appraised value. And, the state, for whatever reason, wants to reduce that to 31.5%, which takes a chunk out of property taxes across the board in Champion Township. And there's some other issues involved with it. I watched it online, and the Ohio Township Association testified before the committee against it, totally against it, which it's nice to have an organization like that doing your battle. But I also know that I touched base with John Grabowski. The school's gonna take a huge hit too. I don't wanna throw out the numbers, because I don't think that's my responsibility, but you know, it could be appreciable. I mean,
What is this, Rex? What's,
House Bill 1. And, you know, right now it's on the floor being discussed. You know, and then it moves on, but, my gut feeling, I would hope it isn't passed. You know, the representative of the Township, Association said that 35% of the state's population lives in townships, which is a pretty big chunk. You know, the state pulled this on townships 15 years ago.
Yeah, crippling.
we got state funds, and then they, over a period of, I wanna say it was 7 years, they steadily took away some of the funds they gave us until that 7th year where we got nothing compared to essentially millions. At the beginning of the 7 years, you know, so it can be a shot in the arm, you know, and the thing is that frustrates me is, you know, the state's answer is, you know, well, you have to deal with it. Well, what happens is, the people don't realize, you know, they feel that they're getting a break on their property taxes, only to, they have to realize
And we gotta come
the
here.
township has to hit you with a levy or something so that we still get the money back. Because we've been operating at this level, and everybody in this room knows at the level that we're operating, we still don't have the right funds to take care of fire, police, et cetera. And they're removing those funds and saying, hey, if you need them, your residents have to pay for them. Well, let's stop and think about it. They were paying for them before they took it away. You know, I just don't get it. So, but anyway,
Something to keep an eye on.
next,